Yeah, because let me tell you something. I'm only coming around this way one time. They took a lot of things away from her. And Justin Timberlake got everything handed to him. He won Grammys. Music scores on the charts. He was number one. I always wanted one, so I got it. You did it. That thing I saw, it's the thing out that drawer. Yeah, what is that? Oh my God. Get out of coming over here. That was a fun video. Yes, it was. This is Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I enjoyed my weekend doing absolutely nothing I did some stuff. Friday night, not a lot of people dressed up for Halloween, but I wanted to go out because I wanted to get out the house. And I go out. I called my friend Eddie over, because my friend Eddie, he's been going through some stuff. So I'm like, Eddie, you know what, bitch? We gonna go out. We gonna drink. And all of that good stuff. I told him he's gonna come to my house when he's gonna get there. So the camp up was, no bitch, we're gonna come to my house, you're gonna come to my house, we're gonna drink, and then we're gonna go out, and then we're gonna have some fun, and then we're gonna drink, and then we're gonna go home. So that's the plan, that's how it happened. But while I was out, bitch, I got real sick. I had to go home because my body just was not having it. And I spent Saturday just recovering. And yesterday I went to go see my mom at the rehab center. My mom is doing much better. I'm waiting for that fucking thing to heal so she can come home. Yeah, because she is she's conversational, she's talking her shit, she's laughing, all that good stuff. So I'm like, once this thing heals, there's no need for her to be in there. Just come on home. So her birthday's on Saturday, so if she's not home, I mean to make plans for you. So we're going to take her out. All this. Okay, so we're going to take who's shopping? Who's doing everything else? People just like to make plans and then they do nothing else about it. Let me not go to my sister. Yeah, let me not go to my sister. But so you ain't here? No, it just came about the blue. You're just making these things up, and who's gonna pay for what? I said she's created it out of thin air. Yeah, so she's gonna tell her husband. Whose husband? Her husband. I'm at my mom's husband. Oh, just something. Don't play yourself. Yeah, so she's gonna say, yeah, so we plan on doing. I said, hold up. Don't put me in the plans yet. And Aaron's the same thing. No, don't include that. Because people make plans all the time. Well, who she tell her to? She does. Nina told her. That's my mom's husband. Ain't anybody trying to do no plans with her? Not yet. So, no, that's not the point. That's not the point. Because Amber don't want to be fake. That's not the thing. Amber don't want to be like me. I don't want to be fake along with you. If I don't like you, I don't like that. And I don't want to be in the same room with you. So it's Halloween, and tomorrow's Halloween. But I figured, I do my little yearly thing where I get up on camera and dress up as something. Now, I didn't dress up this year for Halloween. I just decided to do this video. I just want to say to those who are not subscribed to the Skorpion Show, but do watch, please subscribe to our channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to the new people that's watching for the first time. I hope that you click that subscribe button. If you missed our videos from this month of October, please go back and watch those videos. Also, if you have not become a sponsor to the Skorpion Show, I don't know what you're waiting on. Please sponsor our channel. If you do not know about it, this is your first video since we've been talking about it. I'm not going to give you the whole 10-minute ad. I'm just going to tell you this. We have a sponsorship on our YouTube channel where you can sponsor our channel for $4.99, which includes you being able to chat with us in the community area where this be special chats.
$4.99 a month.
$4.99 a month. And then we also, what I said?
You just said $4.99.
Oh yeah, it's $4.99 a month. And you'll be able to chat in the community tab where it's sponsors only, where we're going to get to a question from Corinne Gatlin, who is a sponsor of the Skorpion Show, which we'll get to later on in the show. Also, you'll be able to see our video first. So that means when we upload, you'll see it before anybody else see it. And shout out to Liz, like, yes, I said it first. Also, you'll be able to chat with us on a monthly live stream where we will just be us talking, and you can call in and all of that good stuff. And I want to give a shout out to the new subscribers, to the new sponsors to the Skorpion Show. They are So Iconic Books, Black Tea Time, Oh Shawnee Boy, Strange Things, Virgo Supreme 85, Kalisha Lazaire, Cheryl Ketter, 88 Jaden, Nicole Parent, PG's Finest 07, Dina Jones 08, shout out to Dina Jones, Joshy Brigg, Willie Brown, and Lachelle Kegler. I want to say thank you to those who sponsor our channel. It's not too late to sponsor us. I would love for us to have a lot more, but we'll take what we have. But please sponsor the Skorpion Show if you can. And again, it's $4.99 a month. If you do not see the sponsor button on your phone, it's because you're maybe on an iPhone. If you go to a desktop or if you go to an Android device, you'll be able to click sponsor. And once you become a sponsor, you can still see the special sponsor post or the regular post that I put on onto YouTube once you sponsor our channel. You just can't click sponsor. YouTube has to fix it. And I need them to fix it now. So a lot has been going on this morning. What's your question? Sure. Who are you supposed to be following?
Roots run deep, Beat. We dig it. Foyer's roots run back to 1926. Gotta know where you're coming from if you want to go anywhere delicious. Foyer Total. Nothing more, never less.
I still think that the most powerful tool we have is story. You have to start with a story that changes a heart. Not a lot of people know this, but I stopped speaking for many, many years. I was afraid of speaking out. I was afraid of being caught. I started in theater as a teenage kid. My mom put me in theater classes, and she thought this is maybe the way to fix his shyness problem. Not surprisingly, I liked it. I knew I was gay. It would be years before I would come out. But I was starting to see and meet people who were openly LGBT in the theater. I found a home. I started to hear stories about people like Harvey Milk, who was this politician who was openly gay in the Bay Area. His story was one of success. It's not what I had heard growing up in Texas. So I went into film.
I always thought, boy, I wonder when I'm going to break through enough that the church folks with their big, hateful, anti-LGBT signs will show up. And finally, at the Academy Awards, there they were on the corner. And I thought, all right, people are hearing us. At the very least, they're hearing us.
There were a lot of little miracles on a thing like Milk that got it to the screen, and everything that happened after it got to the screen, those were just the most beautiful surprises of my life. Every single thing I've done meant taking my storytelling skills and putting them on a very, very different stage. People say, well, how did you do that? Why did you go and form an organization to try and win marriage equality? You don't have a law degree. And I'm like, yeah, because I think the most important thing to do when you're doing a court case is tell a really good story. We all have felt different. We've all had to confront it in some way. Dig into that. Find the power in that. And the more specific you are about how different you are and how outside you felt, the more that other person, who isn't exactly that, is going to relate to it. You're going to change their heart. You change that heart, you can change their mind. I don't know where I'm going next. What I do know is that story has power, and that's where I want to be. Whether we're telling those stories on a stage, on the screen, in a courtroom, I think there's a great deal of power in story. A way that we're able to communicate from our heart in a way that changes minds.
What's been going on with this?
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Who are you supposed to be for Halloween?
I wanted to be this year. I wanted to be Queen Elizabeth. No, this year I wanted to be Rick James, but I was really looking for the boots. I was looking for the black leather pants, and then I was looking for the coat.
You had black leather pants last year.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't want to wear this because I wore this already, and they got rid of them. And
well, you just take to a cleaner. Nobody would know you had those on last year.
I know. Nobody would know. Or so it's recycled. I mean, practice.
To the cleaners.
But guess what? I wasn't spending my money on Halloween this year. I need my money.
Well, where did you get this shirt from?
Actually, my sister had some extra Halloween costumes, so I just threw this on. Yeah, I took it up back and I threw it on. So
she doesn't know you have it.
No. I'm going to throw this shit right back in the bag.
Because anybody who knows Nina knows that if she doesn't know that you have something to hers, the first thing out of her mouth will be,
why the fuck? I'm saying one of the girls. Let's say somebody else took it.
You need to wash it because I'm sure you're sweating.
Oh yeah, I'm sweating right now, and I'm ready to take this head off because it's just too
much. Take it off.
No, not yet. You can't get to the ambiance. Okay. But it's a hippie outfit.
I see.
I just don't have the jeans on. But when I'm not, I have my sweatpants, and I'm so fucking hot. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah.
It's always hot.
So can we get to what's going on? Because today is Mueller Monday. Yes, it's Mischief Night, Mischief Day, and don't try me. It's Mischief Night and Mischief Day, and I try to let this slide. Paul Manafort, one of his friends, Gates went down, and another one, Papadopoulos. I ain't had time to write down the notes.
Rick Gates and George Papadopoulos.
Yeah, I almost said Rick James. Listen, all I know is this. I went to bed early last night. Went to bed at 12:30. I was actually watching this show called Cosmos. It came on 3 years ago on Fox with Neil deGrasse Tyson. The shit is good, Mikhail. It talks about the universe. It's on Netflix. It talks about the universe from back in the day. Well, no, 200 billion years ago, and how we are to now. And it was just fascinating. And I fell asleep watching it, and I'm going to keep watching 13 episodes. But yeah, so I was like, I got to get up early because I want to know who did it. And so I had it on CNN. I like Steve. I like Cuomo.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit too rough for me. Like, he's so serious all the time that I love him when he be getting people together.
Yeah, because I like him too. Because he don't push Cuomo. His father was the former governor of Europe.
Yeah, I think it's Mario or Mark.
Is it Andrew? Wait, one of those damn Cuomo's. Whatever that case may be. I think it was Mario. Yeah. But I like him too because he does, and so you need that. Yeah. Because on Fox News they just all lax and daisy, and they want to get the people that they don't agree with.
They want to talk about Hillary Clinton like she's still like she's the president, and she's not. They want to.
She has been president since never.
She was almost there. She had popular vote, but they don't count in 2017. It still don't count.
Well, it never counted.
Yeah, never, because popular vote. Popular vote never counted. It's the electoral college. But anyway. So I turned over to Morning Joe, I'm watching Mika, and I'm thinking, like, is she really there? And I don't think she was there. And then I was like, is Joe there? But Mika wasn't there, but Joe was there, because he was around the round table. And I think they be sometimes staying in bed and just record at home in front of the screen, because that's what it seemed like to me, because it don't feel like they're in the room. So anyway, then around 7:58, Mika says, oh, well, we got such and I've never seen her again. So they said it's Paul Manafort and Rick Gates. And I said, oh my God. So I turned over to Fox News. Same thing. Turned over to Channel 6. Same thing. Channel 3. Same thing. Channel 10. Same thing. So then I go to Fox News. Bitch, they're talking about something else. Hamburger emojis. They were not talking about.
No, of course not.
Paul Manafort.
No.
And they're not going to discuss it. And they're not going to.
They're not going to make a big deal out of it.
No, it's not. It's nothing there. It's still a nothing burger. And he's been in debt. So we found out what he was indicted for, and it was from some money that he's been laundering and high and all that. Yeah, $75 million.
For years.
Yeah,
even while he was the campaign chairman
for Donald Trump. Donald Trump. For years. Oh, I like this Donald Trump. Yeah, she's trying it because then Donald gets on Twitter and still no collusion. That was years ago. Donald.
No, it was still going on while he was your campaign.
And you know what? Donald Trump got all these new Russian bots following him on Twitter. Over 400,000 new bots. And sometimes you know how you be interacting. Don't interact with them because they are Russians. And they always try to find the gift of post. And all of them was saying October 2017. And they have some name and then all these fucking numbers. They are robots. Controlling and scheming. And who knows if they could do that. If you tweet them, they might be able to get into your account and get into some other stuff.
Yeah.
So don't even tweet and go back and forth your stuff on this. No, you don't need your iCloud hack because my iCloud get hacked. Big thing. So, but you know what? Sometimes that's a come up. You know, you never know. Kim Kardashian, hey,
it's only if you are in a position to be seen.
Yeah, because some
people don't want to see certain.
Hell no.
Yeah, some people don't want to see other people's bodies.
But you know what? After they see it, you become an actor. So they forget all about it. It never happened.
And if they hack yours, you're probably the answer. You'll be the butt of the joke for a minute.
Yeah. That's embarrassing, though.
Oh yeah, for you.
No, for you too.
My iCloud is nothing to me.
So, first of all, I don't put no pictures in my iCloud anyway. Because say, do you want to send iCloud? No. You have to go through my phone and you have to get my thumbprint. And then again, after seeing some movies, how the way they cut people's fingers off and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, James Clapper. That's James Cobo. Shout out to James Cobo. He put up a new video. I do not respect that. So yeah, that was a little thing that came up. But back to Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort, he got driven over from Virginia, over to Washington D.C., turned himself in, and later on in the day, he pled not guilty to the 12 charges that they put up against him. And then after we found out what happened to Paul Manafort and Rick Gates, we found out about Papadopoulos, who was indicted for lying to the FBI on some emails that he had going back and forth with Donald Trump's campaign and with somebody from over in Russia. And he was trying to coordinate Trump's meeting with the people over in Russia. This is back in May of 2016. Around during the campaign. Back in that time. So, you know, it's just a lot of stuff going down. Right now we can say like they're doing the small stuff right now. They're not going for the big stuff. And I think this is to make them talk. Because if they got the information on that, now we already know this is only the first stuff that we found. Now either you're going to work with us or you're not.
I would advise everyone, if you haven't seen this classic movie called All the President's Men, to please look it up and watch it. It stars Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford, and it is about the Watergate scandal. It was filmed back in the 70s, right after the Watergate scandal that happened with President Richard Nixon. And I would just encourage you all to please find that movie on Netflix or wherever you may, on demand, whatever. Find it and watch it. It's a really good movie, okay? Really good movie. Find it and then thank you.
Yeah, because I think MSNBC or CNN shows it from time to time.
All the President's Men?
All the President's Men. Yeah, more maybe CNN.
Because it has a lot to do with the bringing down of the Nixon administration, but it also has a lot to do with all these different people who were involved and who knew information and who were talking and who were. It's a really, really good movie. But to remind people too, for those people who don't know, everybody, you may know that Richard Nixon was a Republican president, but a lot of people may not know or even, realize that it was the Republican Party who wanted to get Richard Nixon out there because they felt as though you were doing something that's making us look bad. So either you tell the truth or you got to go.
Well, you don't get that in 2017.
No, you don't get that in
2017 because of his ass, and you got only 2 strong Republicans with a backbone. Well, a couple that don't. Maybe about 4.
No, it's a couple. John McCain's one. What's this new Jeff Flake and Corker,
Collins,
yeah,
and it's another female from Alaska.
Pence.
No, she is trying.
Oh, Sarah Palin.
God, you're right. I don't even want to talk about no Sarah Palin. She is a mess.
Can you imagine if he would have had her as his vice president?
No, you got dumb and dumber. Dumber. Excuse me. So we don't need that.
Last night I had. You know how you have one of those moments and it's just like, oh wait, this is really for real. I had one of those moments last night and I was just like, I was laying across my bed and I was watching my TV, and then all of a sudden it hit me and I said, bitch, Donald Trump is really the president.
And you know what?
And then I said, wait a minute, we really got to make him a long-term president. Because I was so shocked I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait,
I think
because I had that, and I'm like, wait, this man is really president. How do we go from the rest of the
some people that would never go for him, and then you got some people that really believed in what he was saying and that freedom of speech is what they've been looking for, and they're tired of people writing their time. They want to be who they want to be.
They only want freedom of speech if it has to do with being negative towards minorities.
Yeah, and then they got the nerve to say that 51% of white people feel discriminated against. And we're not even going to discuss that, but 51% have the nerve to say they feel discriminated against when everything is in their favor. Excuse me. Excuse the fuck out of me.
Excuse the fuck out of me. How dare I not be sympathetic to the fact that you feel discriminated against?
Yeah.
When I said, no, wait, this is your country.
Yeah, we are the minority.
This is your 12% of the population. You told us to get out of your country.
Yes.
Go home.
They got the nerve, and they came over here. They took it from the Indians.
So they came over there and got us, and then brought us over here.
Yeah.
And stole it from them.
Yeah, stole it from the let's say Native Americans. They stole it from the Native Americans and the Mexicans.
And brought our black asses over here.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to come.
No.
We had nothing to do with it.
We ain't have no choice but to come. Somebody killed you.
What do you want to do?
Well, I think I probably would have been fighting like everybody else.
Would you today in 2017, would you go back home?
Go back to Africa? No. This is where I live. This is where I'm at. Now, I got nothing against going back to Africa, but this is where I am. Now, if I knew exactly, like I got my ancestry test. Now, if I could take, I know there's one more. It's called like an African ancestry where they go all the way back into.
But you don't know
exactly what tribe. No, and I don't want to just live.
And I don't think your mom would want to go back over there either.
At this point, she got some rich. So all of that.
Take his name over there.
Wait, Nina. I need to remember a lot. Well, now I need to.
Should go over there trying to run shit and then stop her and stay in her track. Say, hold up.
Yeah, drive her track.
That's all. Heads up. They will stop her in her track. Hold up. This ain't stop. It's not my head.
See this. I ain't got time to tell her.
Yeah, because don't go over there and start cussing people out.
Oh, they just the best. I'm like, oh my god, I can see the tag.
No, it's for real, Kevin. Because then they'll have a ritual and her hands will literally be on the planet.
But I don't do that. Don't say that. I want to go though. I think I still want to go. I want to go.
What would you do if they tried to put her hand on the planet?
We're not going to talk like that. Do that. I don't miss your black.
They know we got a lot to say.
Shit. And we do too. They going to push your head.
You know what?
Who was like, man, she said, no, that's a fact.
My name is Big, and I'm not in it. Right. Because let me tell you something. I will go, what they call it, police do when people tell on people, and then you go what? Underground? What you call people?
AWOL?
No.
What? What you mean go underground? Oh, protection.
Yeah, witness protection.
Witness protection.
You won't find me. Yeah, I will be right in the Donald Trump administration. That's the last place you can find me.
Who that black boy in for it? Now, we know because first of all,
I will go in there and change my whole name. What's your name, Nell Carter?
Nell fucking Carter. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break.
Sorry. You're not Nell Carter. Give me a break.
She's been there, what, 15 years?
She's been there for a long time. But she will be resurrected. And they try to come after me.
PJ from, what's her name was? Yeah, PJ on.
I can't remember what her name was. But let me tell you something. She will be alive and well when you start playing. Okay?
Yes.
And wasn't she on Lean on Me? When they tried to throw her off the roof?
You are trying hard. And I've never seen that actor again after I've seen him in Fat Beach. I don't even know his name.
That wasn't her. He tried to like the first people tried to throw that.
Kills your brain cells. It kills your brain cells.
You mean tell me that wasn't her in there from the fairy side?
Lean on Me is my movie. Speaking of Lean on Me, one of the actors from the yeah. Well, yeah, you know, first of all, you forgot to give him the shout out.
He was right. He was
the Lion King, you know, that's it. But I ain't really know him all like that. You know, it's old school. I ain't really, know. I'm not into movies, but anytime one of our legendary black actors passed away, we had to give him a shout out. We forgot to do that last week. So
everybody dressed in their Halloween best tonight for some.
Who's that trying to play through?
The same person. I'm
Center for Disability Rights hosted its annual Accessible
No, because I don't want to talk at all. I want to talk
Trick or Treat Night. The event is designed to provide a safe indoor neighborhood of accessible trick or treating for kids who may not be able
Yes, that's all I am. Now listen, because let me tell you something.
to go door to door.
Did you see his response?
Yes, and you know what? You can't try to cover up what you did with trying to throw in that you're gay. That's not
here
how
because
it
it
works.
gives people that opportunity to go trick or treating in a fun place.
Don't remember it. Let me find his face. No, bitch, no, cause no. We don't need his exact. I need to try to cover it up by saying he was drunk and he don't remember it happening. And if it didn't happen, he apologized. And then he came out and said,
You know, we decorate the entire building, fun atmosphere, we give them their own Halloween.
Now, Harry Potter, right? Tonight's trick or treating event was free
Yeah.
No,
and open to children with or without disabilities.
Of course, is the lead star on the hit show.
Everything Chevy, you need to visit Victor Chevrolet.
And today, an actor by the name of Anthony Rapp came out and said that Kevin Spacey tried to have sex with him many years ago when he was 14 years old, when the guy was 14 and Kevin Spacey was like in his 20s. So Kevin Spacey 26 posted this on Twitter, this response on Twitter by saying, I have a lot of respect and admiration for Anthony Rapp as an actor. I'm beyond horrified to hear his story. I honestly do not remember this encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago. But if I did behave then as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate, drunken behavior. And I am sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all these years. This story has encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know that there are stories out there about me, stories that I've never heard.
I know.
I've never heard stories about him because I've never heard them. Have you? Yeah. Never. I've never heard these stories about him. Out there about me, and that some have been fueled by the fact that I have been so protective of my privacy. As those closest to me know in my life, and I have had relationships with both men and women. I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life. And I choose now to live as a gay man. I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. Why would you decide to add the fact that you're gay into the fact that this man has said that when he was a child, you tried to have sex with him?
Yes. Because
instead of just saying, yes, I did it, or no, I didn't, I did it. If I say I did it, and I'm, but now you are out here saying, oh, if I did do it, because I don't remember, I apologize. But by the way, I'm gay, y'all.
I mean, Kevin Spacey, baby. So
I always thought he played gay very well on House of Cards. You don't watch House of Cards. He has different, him and his wife, for those of you that y'all know that him and his wife having all these kind of freaky, sexual relationships on House of Cards, and he tends to have relationships with other men on that show. And I always thought he played very well.
Get some people to it. Kevin Spacey really tried it. Listen, all pedophiles, all freaking sexual assaulters, they all need to be taken down. And this entertainment industry, and I'm glad that so many people are speaking up. And a lot of people have been saying that it hurts them to even have to admit what happened to them, but because so many people are gaining the strength to say something, they're all coming out and saying something now. And now it's coming out more because a lot of them are now being believed. Just like how you had Bill Cosby had fallen for the accused. Now, I still don't believe he did that to all 50 women.
But I think he did it
to whole stuff. Yeah.
And my pastor spoke about that one Sunday. About a few months ago, he spoke about it. And he kind of spoke out in support of Bill Cosby by saying that he felt that, the white media was trying to bring down this, black. And I think I was the only one in the church that went, and then I said, well, if it's true, then he needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
I said it out loud.
But they got to be,
and then, he had to turn around and say, yes, if it is true, yes. And then I think that's what a lot of people in church say, oh, well, you must believe that he did do it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
But I don't believe he did it to
I don't think he did it to every last one of them, but he definitely did it to at least Some of them, especially when we had out of his own mouth saying some years ago how he drugs women on Larry King.
Yeah. Just like when that Usher herpes thing came out, all of a sudden Usher gave everybody herpes.
Yeah. Now I believe
that ain't about the case.
And don't do that. I believe that gave somebody herpes.
That's if he even had it.
It doesn't even have it. But see, my whole thing is, you're right, that's even. But see, my thing is, I love Usher so much. And yeah, I love Usher so much. And I felt bad that right there it came out like that, because I felt like people were just trying to make a mockery of that and money off of that, and I don't like that. You know what I mean? Don't do stuff like that. But it has to be some people, because didn't they somebody a lot of money?
That's it. That was all alleged. Because we didn't hear from the person that allegedly.
We didn't hear from him either. To deny it, to say that it wasn't true.
Yeah, because he feel like, why should I have to deny something? Why should I have to get up there and say something?
Well, Michael Jackson
been out there,
and we still don't know if he did it or not.
He didn't. I don't believe Michael Jackson did anything to do shit.
Well, he shouldn't have been sleeping in the
But
same
he shouldn't have been in the same bed.
No, he should not have.
You know, I changed my whole opinion on that whole thing.
No.
But, you know, like, if I, like, it's weird, but, like, that's fucking Michael Jackson.
If I send my kids to Jay-Z and Beyonce's house, Jay-Z does not need to be in the same bed with my child. Point blank period. No adult should. But I think that, like you said last week, some people look at women, but no adult should. If my child is going over there and they're being a sleepover with Blue and the twins, then no, they should not, especially not the husband. Why is he in the bed with them?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm watching this show on Netflix, Mindhunters. It's a really slow show. It's really, really slow, and it's getting on my nerves. But it's somewhat good. It is somewhat good. And just last night, I was watching the episode where the FBI agent had went to the school because they had made complaints about the principal tickling the kids' feet. And it's funny, but then it's not funny. And I found, and as I was watching this episode, I was thoroughly.
Wait, is this a real thing that happened?
No, it's a show. It's a show, and it's about these FBI agents who are basically they're trying to figure out the mindset of a serial killer or whatever it is. It's a show. It's not based on a true story. It's just a show. And the one episode was this principal, and a lot of teachers and parents were concerned. Why is this grown man making my child take off their shoes? And this is some form of punishment, and then tickling their feet and then giving them money. And that's perverted. Why are they doing that? Exactly. And he has a fetish of doing it with kids, and it should not be the case.
There's some grown people. I got a problem. Never mind.
You got what?
Never mind. Listen, y'all don't want my feet, okay? Like these dogs, okay?
Well, you can look at your feet and tell they're not grown.
Those are
kids.
Kids. They're not kids, but you know how they be. Let's not go there. In the spirit of Halloween, by Kevin Spacey, I think Kevin Spacey is over you. There's no coming back from this. That excuse was piss poor.
Yeah.
Should have had your publicist come out and say something right.
Yeah. And if that was a publicist statement, then you really didn't fire that
publicist. I don't think there's anything that can happen to him because it's way beyond the statute of limitations. But then again, I want to know where his parents was at. They let him go to a party with alcohol and all of that stuff. So it's just a lot of
Kevin fucking Spacey.
Yeah.
He's 14 and he's 26.
Yeah. But see, baby, everybody getting taken down. And you know who else taking down and trying to take everybody down with her? Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin put out a 17-minute video on Saturday morning. And guess how many minutes I'm going to watch? The whole 17-minute video of Kathy Griffin going and spilling the tea on everybody and everything that's happening to her. She pointed fingers, and she also pointed fingers at herself and some of the things that she has done. And, you know, she mainly went in on Andy Cohen and, oh my God, Harvey Levin from TMZ.
But I have a question. Sure. Why is she doing all of this?
Because first of all, Harvey Levin calls her cell phone. She feels like she's being harassed by Harvey Levin. She also feels that Harvey Levin and Andy Cohen are in cahoots. She said she never gave her phone number to Harvey Levin. So why are you calling my phone? So she had his whole voice message play with his phone number being played. So his phone number changed now. But she was just saying like, no, y'all not gonna do this. And she's also saying that how I don't know if you ever remember, Kathy Griffin had a show on Bravo called My Life with a D-List. One of my favorite shows to watch. I was a late bloomer to that show. But I always loved Kathy Griffin. And I didn't even know that she was famous I had happened to see her, like, I believe in, like, a Cheerios commercial, and I always just liked her look. Don't judge me. And then I seen that, oh my God.
She was saying.
Yeah. You know how some people just be in Cheerios commercials.
But Kathy Griffin has been around for a long time.
But I didn't know who she was. And then she started having those little Bravo comedy specials, which I love. And I always love when she talked about how her and Cher met and stuff like that. Y'all need to go to YouTube and look for them because they fucking funny.
Get to the point.
No, listen, bitch. Don't do that. Do I say that when you be bitch?
No, I need you to tell her. Now I'm confused. Now I'm forgetting why you bring this up.
Because you talking about Andy Coleman. Andy Coleman was up on it, right?
Right. But I really want you to say, what did Harvey Levin do? Like, what did he say in the post?
Oh, because first, see, here's the backstory, right? Say it. Andy Cohen, I like you got something to be. Andy Cohen, yeah, work. Bitch, let's say at 11 o'clock. Andy Cohen, and you think you're going to do nothing there like when you're there anyway. You don't know what I did there. But I can check every 2 weeks. That's what I answer. For not doing nothing or for doing something. How about that? Now just say what he did. What's wrong with him? I know you don't sit there in mine. No, bitch, I don't mind. Give me the thing, bitch. I want somebody else to put that shit out the movie. Now, come on, say what he said. So, he did a Mariah Carey. I don't know her. Boom. Who said that? Harvey Levin? No. Andy Cole. Boom. Who you talking? And then the guy's so dumb, oblivious to him being thrown shade to Kathy. I thought you know her and stuff like that.
All dumb. Somebody dumb.
I don't know. Yeah, so, and then Harvey Levin calls her phone, so she makes the video. Like, no, bitch. Now y'all trying it. Like,
so what did Harvey Levin say?
He's like, hey, call me back, such, call me at this number. So then she went in and said that Harvey Levin is working for Donald Trump administration. She said he's in bed with everybody, and I believe that he is because he also has a show, another show coming out on Fox. And I'm just like, I mean, Harvey's getting his money, but come on now. TMZ getting tea from everybody, and nobody else. So, and then she said that Andy Cohen had offered her cocaine, and I'm making this 17 minutes. So she was like, he offered her cocaine 2 times, and she went on Watch Man's Live. That he's the only television executive in the history of television to give himself a own show. Like she just went in and she was just saying how that her career's been going down.
Works for him.
Yeah, her career's been going down, and like. She like it is what it is, but her show is still selling out around the world. So
what, her stand-up show?
Yeah, stand-up show.
She got to make her money somehow, right? But I'm just trying to get to the point of Harvey Levin calling her. He called her because of why he wanted to talk to her about. He didn't say what he wanted to talk to her about, but he was like, call him at this. And so she just got upset because she's like, first of all, I don't know you for you to have my number. I know Andy Cohen must have given you my number. She said or somebody over there. She said Lisa Bloom gave him the phone on the video. But yeah, she's like, bitch, I still don't know you like that to harass me by calling my phone. And then you're making all like, she's like, all of these stories kept coming up on TMZ. Is that really a form of harassment? Well, calling somebody who you don't know without permission. That's not a form of harassment. Somebody, especially if you call her already, you called her one time. He called her once and left a message. But listen, if you got a
I still think that the most powerful tool we have is story. You have to start with a story that changes a heart. Not a lot of people know this, but I stopped speaking for many, many years. I was afraid of speaking out. I was afraid of being caught. I started theater as a teenage kid. My mom put me in theater classes, and she thought this is maybe the way to fix his shyness problem. Not surprisingly, I liked it. I knew I was gay. It would be years before I would come out. But I was starting to see and meet people who were openly LGBT in the theater. I found a home. I started to hear stories about people like Harvey Milk, who was this politician who was openly gay in the Bay Area. His story was one of success. It's not what I had heard growing up in Texas. So I went into film.
I always thought, boy, I wonder when I'm going to break through enough that the church folks with their big, hateful anti-LGBT signs will show up. And finally, at the Academy Awards, there they were on the corner. I thought, all right, people are hearing us. At the very least, they're hearing us.
There were a lot of little miracles on a thing like Milk that got it to the screen, and everything that happened after it got to the screen, those were just the most beautiful surprises of my life. Every single thing I've done meant taking my storytelling skills and putting them on a very, very different stage. People say, well, how did you do that? Why did you go and form an organization to try and win marriage equality? You don't have a law degree. And I'm like, yeah, because I think the most important thing to do when you're doing a court case is tell a really good story. We all have felt it. We've all had to confront it in some way. Dig into that. Find the power in that. And the more specific you are about how different you are and how outside you felt, the more that other person, who isn't exactly that, is going to relate to it. You're going to change their heart. You change that heart, you can change their mind. I don't know where I'm going next. What I do know is that story has power, and that's where I want to be. Whether we're telling those stories on a stage, on the screen, in a courtroom, I think there's a great deal of power in story. A way that we're able to communicate from our heart in a way that changes minds.
And he called one time. He called it once and left a message. But listen, if you got a website, right, you own a blog. So that means you're blogging about me, blogging about these things, blogging about any shade at me. And then you're calling my phone. That's not a form. Why are you calling me? You don't know me.
That's not a form of harassment. And because no. Well, I mean, it's not. Because if I call your phone one time and I don't answer, whatever the case may be, and you decide that you're not going to call back or you're not going to respond to it, if I don't call you back, I don't call you back. But that's not a form of harassment. Well, harassment is he's calling you constantly. I called you 1 hour, I'll call you another hour, I will call you another hour. That's harassment. Somebody calls you one time.
People harass me online too. That's talking about. Yeah, I know what I'm just saying. I'm just using the point. First of all, if you keep posting stories about me and then you're calling me, why are you calling me? She's like, every time someone canceled, she said TMZ will post every time.
But that's the thing. But see, that's the thing.
She's like, why?
But see, that's the thing. That's what TMZ does. TMZ does it about everybody, not just you, Kathy Griffin. They do that to everybody. I can see if TMZ decided that all of a sudden they woke up one day and said, we're just going to designate a whole week to Kathy Griffin. But that's what they do.
Listen, you gotta remember that Harvey Levin. Well, I didn't know Harvey Levin was every little click, but I do know that Anderson Cooper. And
because Anderson Cooper and Ann Cohen,
yeah, they could go for it. Yeah. Now she didn't go in on Anderson, and being positioning Anderson and like, bitch, you done held up a head bloody with the president's face on it. Man, you can't hang nowhere. Cause now people want to say that I approve if you're doing stuff like that. Now I'm hiring Andy Cohen, but nobody has to get approval from Kathy Griffin because Kathy Griffin is fired. But something else had to be going on behind the scenes that we don't know about it. And for all of this to be coming down like that, and she just said enough is enough. So she put everybody in the front row blast.
But who else did she put on that?
She also put Jeff Zucker from CNN, who was up on her boss at NBC. But she also told about something she did. Can't remember exactly what she did, but she said that she was trying to get a job at. She was like, she had got fired from her show for something she did. I don't remember, but she said she cried, and she's like, I really cried to get my job back. And then they started doing her like an illegal. And she said, I didn't even start charging her the $6 because she didn't even know she could do it. She's like, I'm just so happy to be on TV that, bitch, my show was hilarious. But yeah, Kathy Griffin, now you're really making it hard for yourself to get a job because now you're coming at the big people. You came at CNN, you don't really get a job. But NBC, that whole umbrella is huge. You got MSNBC, you got USA Network, you got the regular NBC. It's all of these Bravo, all of them are under the NBC Universal umbrella. So if you want to take them down, you got to be willing to not be willing to eat.
And let me tell you something. And if Harvey Levin and Andy Cohen are in bed together with trying to stop her from whatever it is, she's going to have a hard way to go. Because we all know that Harvey Levin is somebody, again, he ain't just somebody who be on the people's court talking to the people outside. He knows people. He knows the industry. So he's going to You see what I'm saying? So maybe sometimes it's best sometimes to just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I think that she's basically probably at a breaking point. Because this has been a tough year for her, but sometimes, yeah, you do got to get to yourself.
But nobody wants this toughness on her but her.
Yeah,
because of what she did.
It's catch up.
And while many of us probably are like, well, we don't really care about that, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, a lot of people do. And at the same time, you got to be fair. And what I mean by being fair is the way they did Obama for 8 years. They did him so bad. They had emails sent out calling him his family monkeys and his wife gorillas and this, that, and third, calling him all types of racist names. And we were all up in arms about it.
Yeah, he never complained.
You know what I mean? So we got to be fair when somebody like that does that to Trump. His base are going to get upset too. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah, because I didn't agree with her doing that.
Yeah, I didn't agree with her doing that either because I don't think that you should do something like that. I think there's other ways to attack Donald Trump than having his head severed and making it look.
I would rather you get into a Twitter fight with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Than to do what she did. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. If we're going to complain about Barack Obama and want people not to do that, then his side is going to complain about them too. And it's only right. It's only right.
But you know what, Kathy? I feel like these theaters around the United States, they shouldn't have nothing to do with canceling your shows. They're not a big network. Right. You are there for a comedy show.
Unless the people who are Trump supporters and they calling in and saying, well, I'm not going to get no ticket. Or I'm not going to show your thing no more. You know what I mean? Because you know that's what they do.
Oh, yeah. They tried to shut down Hamilton. But how many Hamilton shows got canceled?
None. All right. Okay. Actually, it boosted their sales.
Yes, it did.
It's all right.
And I'm waiting for them to come to Philly because I don't think I'm going to be able to make some grow back. But that show, it'll take like a year in advance. And most of the main people that was a part of the cast are not there no more, but the play's still good. Kim Kardashian dressed up as Aaliyah for Halloween. And some of the internet had a lot to say. And I feel like now y'all just trying to dig on Kim Kardashian because she's Kim Kardashian because she did a great job. She didn't do blackface. She pulled that shit off the right way. Right. And she looks beautiful. Yeah, people just want to have something to say like, leave Kim Kardashian. Now I'm saying it. Leave Kim Kardashian alone. The only time I won't say leave Kim Kardashian alone is when she out there talking stupid. Right. But this time she paid a tribute to an R&B icon. Right. Aaliyah.
And she did Cher and Madonna. When her and Michael Jackson went to that award show together. Like, I mean, come on. Like, Kim Kardashian pulled all three looks off. Yeah. All three looks off. She looked amazing this weekend for Halloween. People, again, and you know how I've been saying this for the longest time. People just hate the Kardashians because they're the Kardashians. That's it. And it's always us getting on their social media and talking bad about them.
Well, that's everybody. Go in the shade room.
Well, but it be us too.
Yeah. Mainly us.
Okay? It be us.
I'm sure that you got some white publications where people are just making
right. But it be a lot of us. And a lot of black females too.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think some of the black females are a little upset because she keep getting these black men. But that ain't got nothing to do with her. That's the fact, that's the part of the black men who like what they say. Get mad at them, don't get mad at her. But they always got something negative to say about her. And then every time she posts her kids, oh, your kids are so cute.
At this point,
your kids are all. Oh, but you're a bitch and you're a slut. Okay. And I bet you are one too. How about that? I bet you're one too.
I think we all need to do better.
I'm not calling no bitch or no slut because I can be a slut.
No, we all need to do better when it comes to, I would say, when it comes to the judging department. Like, it's not what you say, it's how you say. You might have your opinion, but sometimes people can just be downright rude and ignorant with the things that they say. Or the thing, not the things they say, the things they type in those comments. Like, we just gotta be careful on what we say. And I mean, I know in the shade room, it's hard. Like, cause you see one post and you just, it's like hard to find a positive comment. There's so many negatives. It's so hard.
And you know what's so crazy?
What?
Because, you know, when you follow certain sites like that, you know how now the comments, it'll say the number of the comments, but they have a few comments showing.
They're the people you follow.
Yes. And then people be following so negative. And I be wanting to find their comments so I can comment on it.
But it be so many comments.
Like, oh my God, what you
doing? Oh my God, this camera about to stop. Hold on. I got this room. Hold up. I got to delete the other stuff.
Yeah, and I had the nerve to see somebody that I know personally leave a comment under the Shade Room's post about Michael Jackson's kids going out to a Halloween party, and the person I know personally left a comment and said, "Oh, that's not even his kids." And I found that comment.
Oh no. Now what did you say?
I said, first of all, if he raised them, those are his kids.
Yes.
And then when I went to go say something to this person, I'm reading other comments, and it was other comments just like that. Why would y'all stop saying that's his kids? Because they ain't his kids, they adopted. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I thought that when people, even if they did adopt them, and I'm not saying Michael Jackson did, but even if people did adopt them, I thought people still considered that's their kids. They once raised them, taking care of them, and loving them. Now all of a sudden, his kids, his wife, whatever the case may be, oh, those are not Michael Jackson's kids. They're not his kids. Please stop saying they're his kids. Those are not his kids. And again, it is.
Yes. Why don't they say,
hello, it's us in the comments saying that.
Yeah.
I just roll my eyes and this is, you know, like, are y'all serious? Michael Jackson took care of these kids from day one. From day one. This man is the only man that they knew as their father. And y'all got the audacity to go in these comments and say, oh, those are not his kids? Like, that is horrible.
Yeah.
I would never do something like that, Kevin. I would never, ever in my life do something. If you are taking, that is your child, and I will defend it. Because I felt like, this is how I felt when losing Isaiah. He shouldn't have went back to Holly Berry. He should not have gone back to her. She threw him in a dumpster, and you gonna let him go back to her? Hell no. That white lady Jessica Lange is his mother, and I don't give a fuck what anybody gotta say. That is his mother. She threw him in a dumpster. Oh, but she was on drugs. I don't give a fuck. She shouldn't have that. She shouldn't have been out there on drugs and tricking. She threw that baby in a goddamn dumpster. And you think somebody, now when she has a relapse, why she with that baby? No, I don't think so. No. I was all for Jessica Lange getting that baby and losing Isaiah.
Yeah, that was
and I still am.
23 years later.
And I still am. You don't do that to no kids. And then you don't say, oh, well, you didn't have the biologics, they're not your kids. Who says things like that?
People do.
No, but seriously, who says, like, that's just, like, ignorant. Like, that's just ignorant. And I hate when people talk like that. But anyway, let's move on, because I think that. Real mad, because now I'm starting to think about losing Isaiah.
Let's get to Kareem. Like, we'll talk about some other stuff that happened during the week, because I want to get to this Selena Gomez the weekend and Justin Bieber thing. But I need to get all the tea. Because right now I'm saying to myself, like, all these celebrities just be running through each other and going back to each other. Like, come on, like, pick one and stick with one.
But can I just say this?
Yeah.
Let's be for real. Those celebrities are not doing anything different than what no one can do, or everybody else does. The only difference is that they have money and it's in the public eye. Let's not act like people in the hood don't do the same thing.
Well, I'm messing with like that.
No, but I'm just saying, everybody does that. Everybody messes with somebody, and then they go find somebody else, and then they run back to this person, and then they mess with this person. Everybody, like, it's a hot ass. Everybody does it. The only difference is that they are in the public eye, and it's put out there.
And I wouldn't want my shit out there.
Exactly. Exactly. But if you're not in the public eye like Selena Gomez is, if somebody else in the hood finds out about somebody else in the hood doing it, it's going to be all over.
You know what, though? It's possible for these celebrities to never be seen with someone. And to keep it to themselves on who they fuck with.
I told you what Denzel Washington said years ago in this interview. He said, he was asked, how come we never see you and your wife out in public, you know, in the tabloids and things like, how come we never see you out? And he said, because me and my wife don't go where those people, those paparazzi people are. He said, you see those celebrities in it because they go where they are, or something, or have their people call them paparazzi, tell them that. Me and my wife, we don't get down like that. And that was a sure sign for me that many of these celebrities do that. Yeah. They go to certain places because they know that's where the paparazzi is going to be, or they have somebody in their team call the paparazzi and say, well, this is where so-and-so is going to be tonight, this is where they're going to be later on around this time. And so they pick and choose what they do, and it's true. You never see Denzel Washington and his family out. I don't even remember what his kids look like.
Me neither. I don't know if he looks like. Sometimes I forgot.
He has a lot of kids.
Like, yeah.
And I don't know how many kids he has. He has about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
Yes. So I mean, I'm just like, oh, Selena. And then he was on drugs back at that time. He was on drugs. He was doing stuff. Why would you go back to that? Like, I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. You said, why would you go back to that when both of y'all was on drugs, right? So do you think they should have given that baby back to Halle Berry when she was on drugs?
Let me say something. People change.
Okay, well then people change.
Yeah, but why would you go back?
I'm sorry, people change.
Justin Bieber allegedly changed.
Well,
He's all into the guy.
Well,
I mean, that's a great thing.
that's a great thing. But you just
I
said
hope
people change.
People change. Yeah, people change right back too.
Right. Well, then, yeah. So you want a baby to go back to the mother because she had her?
It all depends. Because it all depends. Now, did she throw that baby in the trash can?
Yes, she did. You never know about that baby.
I'm talking about somebody else. No, bitch.
Have you ever seen Losing Her Man?
Yes.
You remember what you do in there. And if it wasn't for that trash man, yes, it was. That trash man wouldn't hurt that baby. Ooh, it's making me mad. Because those things in those trash trucks, they compact.
Yeah, they compact you.
It's making me mad. And you think that a child was to go back to their mother after she did that?
Not her in particular.
But that's like saying, Andrea Yates, if all her babies didn't die, then yeah, let's get her some help and then let her babies go back to her.
Some people should just have children. That's not me.
Halle fucking Berry and Losing That Taste. And ever since this day, from 1995 to 2017, I look at Halle Berry very differently.
I mean, I just say,
let me tell you something. If I ever see, she can't be mad because she throw babies in the trash. Hello? No man wants that. They come home and their child's in the trash.
Let's get to our sponsor question.
If I ever interview Halle Berry and she ever comes on this show, I'm saying, Miss Berry, I don't even know her, but you put that baby in the trash, and I'll never forgive you for that.
What you want to say?
And then you have this audacity. Oh, I'm telling her, you told Ike to see that, and he went to that bus station and found her. Oh yeah, I didn't say it on Skype, but I will not forget that. He called you and you said, hello. Like you so over that.
4 players are locked in.
Only 2 are going to join us in the final.
And $1 million hangs in the balance. The stakes are so high, I'm super nervous. If I fall,
This was the biggest fail of the challenge history.
the Challenge 30. Tonight at 10 on MTV.
I still think that the most powerful tool we have is story. You have to start with a story that changes a heart. Not a lot of people know this, but I stopped speaking for many, many years. I was afraid of speaking out. I was afraid of being caught. I started in theater as a teenage kid. My mom put me in theater classes, and she thought this is maybe the way to fix his shyness problem. Not surprisingly, I liked it. I knew I was gay. It would be years before I would come out. But I was starting to see and meet people who were openly LGBT in the theater. I found a home. I started to hear stories about people like Harvey Milk, who was this politician who was openly gay in the Bay Area. His story was one of success. It's not what I had heard growing up in Texas. So I went into film.
I always thought, boy, I wonder when I'm going to break through enough that the church folks with their big, hateful anti-LGBT signs will show up. And finally, at the Academy Awards, there they were on the corner. And I thought, all right, people are hearing us. At the very least, they're hearing us.
There were a lot of little miracles on a thing like Milk that got it to the screen, and everything that happened after it got to the screen, those were just the most beautiful surprises of my life. Every single thing I've done meant taking my storytelling skills and putting them on a very, very different stage. People say, well, how did you do that? Why did you go and form an organization to try and win marriage equality? You don't have a law degree. And I'm like, yeah, because I think the most important thing to do when you're doing a court case is tell a really good story. We all have felt different. We've all had to confront it in some way. Dig into that. Find the power in that. And the more specific you are about how different you are and how outside you felt, the more that other person, who isn't exactly that, is going to relate to it. You're going to change their heart. You change that heart, you can change their mind. I don't know where I'm going next. What I do know is that story has power, and that's where I want to be. Whether we're telling those stories on a stage, on the screen, in a courtroom, I think there's a great deal of power in story. A way that we're able to communicate from our heart in a way that changes minds.
Called you and you said, hello. Like you so over the fact that he's calling you. Yeah. Because I was passing off that money.
Yeah, that's how it's told.
And truth be told, I think I sleep with his mom. Because she was selling too much.
But a lot of people's moms was like that.
Yeah. Especially if they didn't have money. Oh yeah, they was taking the money.
Oh yeah. You hear some stories.
Tell them that. You know why it would be like that? If one of her kids got famous and they was messing with somebody rich and they wanted, I think.
Oh, I would hope not.
Not sexually, but I think she was.
Oh, I hope not.
I think she was. You know her. Yeah, because you know, you need to like start but you need to start listening to what they saying and then making you even madder. Like, bitch, you supposed to be on my side. You my family.
Let's get to our sponsor question of the day.
Am I lying?
I would hope not. That person would do that.
And if they did, I can see you right now. When Kel said you would do that.
Why do people?
No, say who said it.
No, I'm gonna get to this question. So this is Korean Gap.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Why do people that heartbreak steer them into a life of bitterness where they claim they want to be single for the rest of their lives? Why do people that heartbreak steer them into a life of bitterness
where they claim they want to be single for the rest of their life?
Yeah. We gotta think about why do heartbreak.
I'm gonna go first.
Why do people let heartbreak steer them into a life of bitterness? Because they're heartbroken. First of all, they're heartbroken, but I want to know why they're heartbroken. Did they get cheated on that made them bitter? Did they get caught cheating with someone? Did it just not work? Or every time they try to fall in love with someone, or every time they try to get with someone, it makes them bitter, or they feel like they'll never have what they had before. Maybe that's what makes them bitter, because they can't find it in somebody else. And I think it all depends on the situation, on what's making them bitter. And some people just be like, well, until I find someone better, then I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. Right. And I was at a point like that when I was a young person. Though when I was a young person, I felt like I could not find anybody that was better than the person who I was not with. And that breakup led me into a depression. I was in a deep, deep depression where I would always smile around people and they'll not be home. I would drink myself to sleep. Like it was bad. And sometimes I could be real mean to people that were in relationships and had their friends around, and I could say a lot of stuff like it would make me better. Like I can't believe I'm admitting this stuff. But yes, this is me being truthful.
I mean, it's not a shock.
Bitch, don't try it now. I'm not that way anymore. But I was a long time.
What? I thought you looked up like I didn't look at the camera, but I'm just looking at the camera because something in my eye.
Yeah,
I don't know what goes on in your person.
But I don't feel like I wanted to be single for the rest of my life. Like no, I don't believe nobody wants to be single for the rest of their life, because everyone wants someone to love and for someone to love them back. But you know what? In 2017, bitch, it is still tough out here in these streets, especially with these out here.
Yeah.
You know, it is rough.
Listen, I agree with everything you just said, but for me, it wasn't necessarily cheating because it had nothing. Why my ex and I broke up, it had nothing to do with cheating. We just broke up because we just started growing apart. And that way of a relationship, like a relationship in that way, not a friendship, but just a relationship. But for me, I was bitter. I was thinking, oh my God. And I agree with you. Like you'd be like, I don't even want to talk to nobody else because I don't even think I'll be able to find somebody else like them. Or when you just start talking to other people, you just in your mind, you're comparing them to your last, and you're like, oh my God, why am I doing that? But I told my friend just the other day when we were in the car talking, I said, it took me a very, very long time to get over my ex in that way. Even though we still remain friends, it just took me a long time because I just wanted us to I wanted it to work, and I wanted us to make it work, but it didn't. And it really bothered me because I felt like I wanted it to work, but I was like, I wasn't for sure you wanted it to work. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know. But then once that day came when I was able to get up and not think about that particular person the whole entire day, I said to myself, oh, I'm going to be all right. This is going to be all right. But no, I have not gotten to that point where I feel like I want to be single for the rest of my life. No. I like being single now. I do. I've been single for 6 years now, and I like it because it can be fun. Now, granted, there are some days when I'm like, dang, I wish I did have somebody so we could go out, whatever the case may be, and just, whatever it is. But I like more being single because I have fun. I like the fact that I don't have to really answer to anybody. I don't have to call somebody at night or call somebody during the day and make pointless conversations about nothing. You know, I like that. And I think because I'm older now, I'm like, I can't believe, you know, people do that. But it's like, you know, that's the whole part of relationship. But I'm just like, miss me with that. I would rather now be on that overtight time where, even though her and Stephen are in a relationship, but I would rather be on that tight time where it's just like, listen, I meet somebody, or rather, the guy that I was telling you about, Chris Classics, that I follow on Instagram, where a few years ago he had posted this young lady, and him and the young lady, he had posted and said, listen, when we first met, it was simply sex, and we both made it clear that that's what we wanted, sex. But then they started hanging out a little bit more, and then started to really start liking each other and started getting this bond, and then they started dating. And now, a month or two ago, they just got married. I like stuff like that because it's not a secret what we want. And I feel like if I can meet somebody and we ain't gotta be in a relationship, we just be cool, whatever the case may be, we hang out, whatever the case may be, have sex, and then go about each other. Friendship first. Yeah, friendship first, whatever. That's important. Have friendship first. Because you don't want to just land down with anybody that you don't know. You want to build a friendship with them. But something like that. Me just like, oh, I want to be with somebody, I just can't wait to be with somebody. You'll never hear me say that because that's not true. I don't want to be with anybody that bad that I'm saying to myself, oh, I can't wait to be with somebody. I don't care. I like my freedom. I really do. And I like being around couples too. Believe it or not, I really like being around couples because I like seeing the fun that couples have, and I also like seeing when couples go through their stuff because in the back of my mind, I'm preparing myself, well, this is how I would do things if I was in a relationship. So in my next relationship, if I do get to this point, I'll know how to handle this situation. So I really do like being around couples because it's fun for me to watch how they interact. But right now, I don't give a damn about the relationship at all. I don't.
Friendship first, y'all. Yes. I think that's the main thing. And you gotta get to know each other besides getting into the day within the first 24, 48 hours.
Unless that's what y'all agree to.
But you really gotta be friends with people. And sometimes it's not bad to hold back your it's not bad to hold back from the sex.
No, it's not. From sex. But I've climbed in quite a few beds in the first 2 hours.
I think we all probably in these streets.
But that was in my younger days.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
My younger days meaning 2 weeks ago. Because I was younger.
Oh my God.
Than I was. You are younger 2 weeks ago than you are 2 weeks later.
Oh, well, true. But I'm saying, don't say that like you was
but I'm just saying, listen. Well, I'm only in my mid-20s, but it is a point where you just have to be. I am. Yeah. 26. I'm 26. I just turned 26.
You know how they go back?
26.
You know how they go every 5? They go back 5 years. Oh yeah, can we get your update here? So I'm older. You're older than my oldest brother. So can
you're gonna get it. Yeah. When I said I'm 26, I just turned. You're supposed to say okay. Well,
I'm gonna let you do that, bro.
Where did I get that from? Because you don't get it. You don't get the joke. You just not sure.
No, I get that you're 26.
But the joke, where did I get that from? And I know some of y'all probably screaming at the
camera right now.
I'm 26. I just turned 26, which the other day or something like that. And then you're supposed to say, okay, well, congratulations, like that.
I don't know what movie that's from.
Housewives of Atlanta reunion. When Phaedra said that she grew up in Indian, and Nene said, oh, yes! Bitch, I forgot all about that. You're older than my oldest brother. Actually, I'm 40. What did you say? I'm 40 something. Then she said, I just turned 40.
Speaking of Housewives come back on Sunday. So it'll be something to talk about on Monday. And these Manafort and stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
But would you let Terrence J. Manafort you?
I'm not answering that.
Why did I think of Terrence J? I don't know.
I've never talked about it.
Tiger?
Never talked about it.
Yes, you did. You did talk about Tiger. And it's right.
Well, see, why I gotta always go to you?
Well, bitch, you did talk about Tiger. Tiger, yes, you did. You are a liar. You're a liar. And you think that Dusty Street always going to lie.
This is a Halloween costume.
I don't give a damn if it was a damn baseball costume. Take it off.
No, I'm about to take it off. It's too hot.
Yeah, I see the sweat stains all over it. Nene's going to be very upset with you.
Ain't no sweat stains.
Yes, it is, bitch. I'm looking right at it. Doesn't matter. Just tell the damn story.
I forgot what I was about to say. You made me forget it. You made me forget it. Anyway,
Barack Obama.
thank y'all for watching. Listen, now, if y'all not going, so no, if y'all not a sponsor to the Skorpion Show again, I'm gonna ask y'all again. I don't know what y'all waiting on. We need y'all to sponsor the Skorpion Show. It's $4.99. Sponsor us if you can. You don't have to. I know bills coming up, Christmas coming up, and I know, but if you could sponsor us, please sponsor the channel. And we're going to have our first sponsors only live stream next week. So we are looking forward to that, and I hope that you sponsor our channel. And we will see y'all later this week with another new video.
Before we finish, Barack Obama.
What about?
Would you let him manage you?
Good night.
Jay-Z. Chris Brown.
No, bitch, I let Beyonce manage with you.